had the chance to connect visually. Unfortunately, they've been born into their mortal coil with, well, some would call it a disability.
That's fine. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. But I think what we're talking about is what she's talking about. I understand what she's talking about. There is a different connection. And I agree with you when you say that audio is more important. Audio is more important than visual, obviously.
Yeah.
But now what I like about the video is that it kind of weeds out the, what do you call it? The keyboard warriors.
The chafe and the wheat.
I cannot stand just text. I cannot stand when people are just like bashing each other text on text, where they would never say that, or they would never, most of the time they wouldn't say that if they weren't just typing it with no face.
This is a great question to ask someone who has been blind from birth, for example. How do they entrust others? Because that can't be an easy thing. But that's a conversation, specific one for another time. What I want to suggest now, that audio is definitely important when we head over to somewhere that's just over the USA border, a little bit north there. And I'm wondering if the audio is working at the moment. Someone, or is it? No, wait a minute. I can hear a voice. I can.
Hello.
Aha! We hear a voice. Maybe we could see something there as well as we introduce the one and only Michael.
How are you? Good.
How are you doing?
That man there looks like Eric. He's an imposter. I think his beard is not as beautiful.
Could you just
My God.
a little tug there,
Eric,
please, Eric?
And Eric sleeps in the day and howls at night. This can't be the same man. How are you, my friend?
Doing good.
Are you guys open to playing the picture game? If you...
Yes, we were just going to set things for you to be able to do that. If you follow me, I've just seen your comment, so thank you. I need to head down there. All this technical stuff is self-produced.
Jimmy.
There you go.
My best friend in the world is James Heaven.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you're the only other Heaven I've met. So we have a little piece of heaven here today.
I see, James.
I would love for you. I would love you to meet James, meet Jimmy, Jimmy meet James. Yeah, he has honestly been the best friend I've ever had.
And he's in Canada.
He's in Canada. He's same age as me. He's going to be 58.
Okay.
Yeah, he's still a sexy beast. You just ask him. Yeah, it's all good.
That's interesting. It's a rare. Heaven's a rare name. It's English.
Well, I know, and people used to go, "That's not your name."
It's English. It's English, and it mutated to Evans and stuff like that. Yeah. But originally, it's Heaven, and yeah. So,
mine is actually Bathurst, right? So, which is really Bathurst.
Bathurst.
And Bat is German, and the Hurst is English. And the English couldn't bear to hear Bathurst, so they went Bathurst.
Oh, Bathurst. That makes sense.
Yes, very, very much like Malton. Bathurst. Yes. Don't be a twit. It's not Bathurst. It's Bathurst. Have some class. All right. So the way the game works is I put a picture up. You guys chew on it. Each of you gets time to tell what you feel about it. If you don't want to say anything, you don't say anything. But I'll put some weird pictures up, good pictures, but it stirs conversation, and it's better than eating on camera, smelling your armpits, and reading comments. Comments are cool too, and anybody who's in the comments can do that as well.
All right.
So you give me the controls. Okay.
You have full control there, Michael.
You guys talk away, and if you'll see a picture come up in a second here. Okay.
We're taking turns, or we just talk over each other, which I'm pretty comfortable
doing.
We're
pretty disciplined not to have to do that, and yeah. By the way, hello, Lincolnshire. It looks like Colin's neighbours joined us as well. Vegan Doe, darling, thank you for joining. And yeah, hopefully you're looking quite like Freddie Mercury today, and you're looking the real self.
That's beautiful.
Ooh.
Okay, here's the picture. If it's working. Who wants to go first?
Well, it's a mime. That's the only thing I can think of right now. Yeah.
Okay. Does it make you feel anything? This is the game. Does it make you feel anything? Does it, like Eric will have a 4-hour spiel on this. I guarantee you. Yeah, he'll condense it down to 40 minutes for you, but the real.
For me, it gives a sense of obviously pensiveness and but concern, possibly troubled.
He's got big ears.
And there's a positive there when you look at his mouth, if you see what I mean there. Plus,
He might be getting poked. You know, he kind of looks like he might be getting poked. Ooh.
From behind?
My goodness.
From behind?
Yes, from behind, definitely.
Yeah, okay.
Or could someone have said something that hurt his feelings?
I thought you were going to say.
I think we did. I think all of it hurt his feelings.
Yeah. So I think he is in the future listening to you saying he got poked.
It's possible. Could he possibly be sitting there in the bathroom and someone's just shut the light off?
Or he's in the middle of pinching a loaf and he's like, "Why is my picture up?"
Yeah.
Okay, so tell me when you're ready for the next photo.
All right, we're ready.
Is everybody ready, or you want to chew on this some more? No? No?
Yeah,
Okay.
Leah, we're ready. Ready.
Okay.
Mm.
Who wants to talk about this one first? And we should do at least a minute on each. No less than a minute and no more than 5. Is that fair?
On each picture?
On each picture.
Okay. Okay, eyes are the gateway to the soul.
Okay.
That's my bit. That's my 2 cents.
Okay, I like it. It's beautiful, actually. Eric, do you want to condense your 4-hour seminar into 2 minutes? Can you do that? Because I know. Yeah, here we go.
The cosmos is shining through, and if you can see through the window of my soul, you'll see the universe inside me, because it's a reflection of the universe inside you.
Yeah, to me, it's connectiveness with all energy, and that we're all interconnected, and that there's an all-knowing, all-seeing presence that's infinite, like we are, and we're all connected. And we know really nothing about what's going on. But there are the watchers that are watching us. Okay, Martin, come on, buddy.
Yeah. For me, it's open your eyes wide and see everything for what it is around you. You know, try and look out the box, look at the universe, and just be aware. And wow, that's it really. And
Martin, you're the host. Who's the host here? You both host. So who should read the comments? Because we don't want to ignore it.
No, absolutely. Continue, Michael. You're doing very well.
I'm not the host.
Oh, you're not
but
the host.
there's actually no. Who's afraid to speak? But there's not really too many. Okay, here.
I was born to speak. Go ahead.
Okay, we'll just put him up here. Here, present on screen. Here we go.
Tanika says, life is like a galaxy. We are energy that never ends, just transform. That's an interesting point, to say the least.
That's beautiful.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. No, I'm told that I'm a bulldozer. I know that Martin's a bulldozer. I know Eric is patient. I don't know you well enough, Jimmy. So, but you could leave Martin and I here for 3 hours and we'd find something to talk about. So,
who told you, Michael, that you were a bulldozer?
I can't go there. It gets ugly. Okay.
Oh yeah. By the way, Helga said to apologize. She's not feeling good this morning.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh no, I yes, she hasn't been well, and that's fine. We'll catch up with her soon.
Okay. Who wants to read this? Eric,
no
you
more
read it.
Time. Go for it, Eric. Please, no. We'll read a line read a line each. Go on, Eric.
It takes no more time to see good side of life than to see the bad. Jimmy Buffett.
Yes. And the parrot heads. That guy is filthy rich. So rich from all the concerts. I once watched this thing. It was a show on the people who earned the most from concerts. And he was number 1. He was beating Pearl Jam. He was beating the Rolling Stones sometimes, depending on the venue. It was crazy. He was making This is in the 90s. He was making about $500,000 a gig himself.
That's when he was touring. He was touring a lot at that time. Yeah.
Wow, $500,000 a gig.
And not counting merch. So he was the first Taylor Swift without a hit. Yeah. Okay, so who wants to chew on that? Martin, go.
It very much says to me the glass is not necessarily empty, but it's half full. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
We've got Colin in the house here. Colin, how are you, buddy? Beautiful. Good to see you.
Good to be here. How is everybody?
What does this say to you, Colin?
Is everybody okay with me just doing the photos, and you guys? Then we'll have 4 opinions. We'll be here all day if it's 5.
Yeah, this is good.
Okay, I'll occasionally pop in when you guys are farting in the wind. Is that okay? All right, good.
We can try that. I've never tried farting in the wind.
Colin, I'm going to give you a little more volume. Is that okay? I'm going to give you.
Fart is the wind.
Please do.
I love that wisdom. Welcome to Fart in the Wind Productions here with Martin and Mr. Heaven.
Don't give us any ideas, please, Michael. It's complicated enough, but it's a good one. Yeah, Colin, what do you think?
It takes no more time to see the good side of life than to see the bad. This guy's obviously looking at the good side. He makes a
shitload of money, Colin. That's why.
That makes sense. But if that was the case, I think I'd wear a little bit better attire than he's actually accustomed to.
I think it's an effort. Where you put your effort. So if you decide to put your effort in looking the good, or you decide to put your effort to looking the bad, once you start looking at the bad, it's very easy to see bad. So and that's his point. So that you can take that energy, and it's just as easy to see the good.
You always get what you focus on, and whatever you're focusing on, that is what you're going to experience as a feeling.
The law of attraction. Sorts?
No, just basic. If you're thinking of some bad shit, then you're going to feel bad, aren't you? If you're thinking about some good stuff and noticing the things in life, you're going to feel good. Focus equals feelings.
Eric, do you want to talk? Don't be polite today. Just jump in. There's too many bulldozers.
Yeah, I feel like, it can also go the other way as far as like just allowing what's coming. And so it takes no more time to see the good side in life than see the bad, because sometimes, when you're just observing, you see it, you feel it, you embrace it, no matter what it is. And so even when you might be stuck or in a bad time, you might see someone else having a great time, and that just kind of really affects you and pulls you out just as quick as you were pulled in. Wonderful. And I think that's what music does.
Mr. Shine.
Yes.
Gonna call you. Do you want me to put these photos up? What are these images here? Are they images, the bluish things? Or are they music?
No.
That's
part of the show. That's part of the show.
Yeah, you see there's a
Okay. All right. Thank God I asked. Okay. All right. Here we go. Here's the next one.
Well, you could have put the blue up.
Don't touch.
Just surround yourself with tacos.
Surround yourself with tacos. Not negative. That makes sense. I've never tried a taco.
Though.
What's a taco?
Never?
Give me a clue. What's a taco?
Yeah.
No.
It's a taco.
Chip.
Yeah, filled with meat.
Tacos. It's a Mexican food.
Yeah.
Oh,
tacos.
Okay.
Tacos. Tacos. They put, it's like a tortilla made out of flour or corn. You put meat, any kind of meat you want: beef, pork, chicken, lettuce, avocado, tomato salsa.
I'm going to look into that. I want one.
It's very good. I don't know what we got the fake. I don't know if you have. Was it taco? Was it restaurants in? Let's check. Well, I'm sorry. Where did you live? Where do you live?
Where did I live? I've lived all over.
Where do you live now?
Lincoln.
Planet Earth, Jimmy. We're all from Planet Earth. What's going on?
Yeah, but that's true.
I'm in the UK. Are you having a bad day, Jimmy? You seem a little perturbed.
No. I'm wondering if there's any. I'm looking to see if there's any Mexican restaurants in your area.
Thank you.
Does anybody want to drop the taco and drop the negativity, or Can I go? Can I go to the next slide, or does anybody want to chew on the taco?
I was
got
trying
three.
to. Let's go with the taco.
You
Let's
got
go with
three.
the taco. Right, quickly.
You got
Surround
three
yourself with
restaurants. You got three
tacos, not
restaurants.
negativity. No, it's-
You've got
Thank you,
You got
Martin.
three
Three
restaurants.
restaurants.
Yeah, in Lincoln,
I've got
Mexican. Three
Right,
Mexican
thank
restaurants.
you. You're very kind. Mexican.
Yeah.
Yes, surround yourself with tacos, not negativity. I'm going to assume from the image that we're being shown here that the guy that's put this image together or created the meme definitely thinks that tacos are positive.
Oh, they are. They're positive as pizza.
Danica reminds us how
I
food
like
can change our mood. Very good point again.
Okay, we're on
They
to the
can,
next slide,
especially
folks.
banana.
Here we go. Next slide. Here we go. What do you think of this
High
one?
potato.
What is it?
Exactly. What is it indeed? What do you think, Eric? This one's weird.
Don't tell me he's wearing a face mask.
That looks like some kind of voyeur vampirism to me.
I think he's right. I think it is a face mask. I think it's basically saying that we're behind a mask now all the time. Yeah, it's a weird one. And
his gab is his gab is I'd say Central American. It looks like Central American pattern.
And then it looks like someone's hands are up behind glass and is begging for mercy.
Or it's a cult, and they're all throwing up their hands in worship.
Yes. Yes and no, I hope. Okay. Eric.
Yeah, I totally feel with the Native American, or not Native, but yeah, the indigenous print there. And the red, it's the root chakra. The face is being silenced. So you could probably even associate a lot of red with anger, that they're not being able to speak. So you got the hands up in the background, grasping, kind of like Michael said, at glass, like, let us out of this prison.
Yeah, so does that represent COVID this time in history? I don't know. It's this is one you could go deep forever and make up stuff. It could be very much like dating for some people. Yeah, horrifying. There you go.
That picture looked to me like there could be more than one person there, possibly.
Oh, it is for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. It might be three people.
Unless they got two right hands.
They
Not forget
do.
the one behind the camera.
Oh, you're right. Behind the camera, there's another one.
Very, very clever. I like that. All right. I love this one. This one is beautiful. Okay. You guys ready? Here we go. Somebody made
peace to me.
Yeah, somebody made that though. Like, isn't that like there? We could not make that. There's no way. Sorry.
Is this Southeast Asia, or is this more toward India?
It's
or
like Cambodia.
Yeah, we need an app, Michael. That's the state of mind that we're in these days, right?
Yeah, I'm more like the shadow on the brick there. I'm more lost than the peaceful people here.
To the right.
Oh, to the right. Okay, sure.
Yeah, that shadow. No, I'm just making sure that shadow on the right of the picture.
Yeah.
Right.
But to me, this is a clue that something greater than ourselves, maybe higher intelligence, was behind a lot of these buildings all over the world.
Such as Stonehenge in England.
Angkor Wat is what it is. Yeah.
You know they found another Stonehenge underground, bigger.
They did?
Not far away. And they know it now from ground penetrating radar. And you know what they said? Leave it alone. Don't dig it up. We know it's there. Uh-oh. That's enough. Please don't dig it up. Have you ever seen the statues from Easter Island?
Sure.
You know how they look like just heads? They're full bodies. That's a fifth. That's a fifth of the size of those. So yeah, there's more going on than we know, right? And you just ask Eric. He's one of them. Tell him, Eric.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's part of the mass, the control. The Sphinx was, 3/4 of the way buried, 100, 200 years ago. So they're allowing certain things to get dug up. All the Aztec stuff. There's so many pyramids there, and on the north and south poles, there's so much to explore here. But we're dumping all this money into going to space. Go figure.
Yeah, underwater too. And they say that if they had spent more money, maybe in the 50s, since there was a great race to go to space between Russia and America, but if they had spent more money in exploring the ocean, that we probably would have been further in space by now.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Mr. Shine, you're on camera right now, so don't do anything weird. I just thought I'd warn you. Okay. So, like no urges to put your finger up your nose, none of that stuff. Just no, because you don't know, right?
No.
I could just leave you there. You could just right now have your underwear on and stand up and go, well, he's, you don't have your mic on either.
I think he's got his good underwear on.
I was just trying to say before I muted myself that Michael's obviously been watching while we were getting ready for the show, not knowing what's going on behind the camera here. I think it's always best to just play the mic's always hot and we're always on camera. I was just actually checking the broadcast back just to make sure. I've lost a couple of times on the broadcast studio, but luckily and thankfully everyone's kept going. Are
you guys ready for a couple more photos and then we'll end it and then you guys can continue what you were doing? And all right, if you enjoy it, I can do this probably in eternity, but I don't think you want to. So there you go. And I love the heated side of Jimmy. I love the heated side of Jimmy. Jimmy, thank you. You add spice to a dull burger.
Is there a reason why I'm sat in the cheap seats? What's going on?
We could barely hear you. We could barely hear you on
vocal.
Yeah, we could barely hear you. Yeah, you're kind of
better now.
No, it's not that. You're more like this, buddy. Freakazoid robots and androids. They won't stop rocking the floor. Like that. Instead of, hi, I'm Colin, I'm coming over.
It's something to do with your mic. I think it's something to do with your mic. I don't think it's the connection. It does sound something to do with the mic.
Jimmy, could you just rush over there and try and figure it out for him?
Well, I'm not sure, but it sounds like a mic thing, doesn't it? I mean,
well, his picture quality is great. So,
well, now he's gone.
No, he's not. His image is. He's still there. He's still there. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He was always there. He was there when they were building those statues. He's always been here. Please don't put the wrath of your anger on Jimmy. Whatever you do. Okay, that's all I ask. Okay, we're going back to the picture game. We're gonna move on, and I'm sorry if I made you feel excluded. I was just worried about the vocal part, buddy.
Is this the picture? Quest for Happiness.
No.
That was Colin's picture.
Okay, here we go. Next picture. What do you get from this?
Too many beers.
Wow, that looks like you, Michael.
It is me.
No, yes. Wow.
Yeah, many years ago.
Yeah. On the right-hand side.
Yes.
On the left, left, right. Oh.
Yes, and who said too many beers?
Absolutely. Yeah, I like that.
Absolutely correct on too many beer. Wow. Too many beers. You're right, especially the guy screaming at me.
Yeah, exactly. That's what you do when you get drunk. Ah!
Yeah.
And why? We don't know.
Well, I know. He was like, "You don't talk to my woman."
I said,
I talk to my woman.
The ladies' man.
Listen, we talk about Shine and women, and then he popped out there in the green room. Something happened. You okay, buddy? Is everything okay? No, you actually popped out. So please, everybody, chew on this. Tell me what you get, what you think. What do you think of the picture? And then I'll go on to the next one. I just got to lighten it up occasionally, guys.
You had more of a tan back then?
That's easy.
Yes, I did.
Oh, there you go.
I did.
Two sides to every story. That's what that one says.
Yeah, absolutely.
And inside you can feel nice and serene and calm.
Yeah.
I need to sort this audio out.
Yeah. Are you ready for the next one? Did anybody want to chew on the memory of Michael, or we can keep going?
So if we're talking about alcohol here, it could also show two different sides of consumption.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah. I get very happy on alcohol. Yeah. Yeah. It can bring rage. I've had friends where if they had one too many, you knew. You swear they turn demonistic, and you would go, "It's time to go. I love you. Bye."
Yeah.
Your friend doesn't look like he's angry, so he just looks like he's drunk and having a good time and doesn't know where to let out some energy.
Well, he was the keyboard player for the Anthony Gomes band.
Oh, okay. There you go.
And we were just messing around, having a good old time. Yeah. Martin, do you want to say anything? You're very quiet, buddy. What's going on?
Well, yes, I'm having an interesting time listening to everyone. I have a slight echo and phased audio, which is interesting for those techie people out there. But I'm managing to get by. You know when you try and talk and you can hear yourself in your headphones, but like a micro millisecond delay, and then you
someone might have their device on, but I can't hear that either. It might be because we have so many different people in here. I'm currently not having that, but do you have the echo with every person?
I'm just as I'm talking. I think no. It's definitely a.
I think he's talking about his own mic. Martin's talking about his own mic.
No. Michael was right to ask the question. All the audio, including when I have the echo on, and it's all coming back delayed. But I can work with it. It's been worse in the past. Anyway,
do you know what it reminds me of?
Excuse me.
Yeah. You know what it reminds me of? 2 turntables and a microphone. Okay, keep going. All right.
Snapchat is all that shouts at me. No pun intended on that image. Just the bright yellow and black. But also, I mean, well, Michael, I'm looking at that picture. I won't ask what year it was. I don't know if you mentioned it and I didn't hear, but
14 years ago.
14 years ago.
14 years ago. Maybe 15.
Yeah. I draw some more positivity from both expressions there, which is good.
Okay. All right. The next one is a quiz. Who is this blues legend? He was 350 pounds. He was 6'5", and
Big Bad John.
Yeah.
I'll tell you a quick story. Eric Clapton played with him.
That looks like Lucille.
It's not BB King.
It's not same guitar though.
It's similar. Yes, it's similar.
Almost, it was Chuck Berry.
No, that's not Chuck Berry.
No,
it's Freddie King.
Oh, Freddie King. Okay.
Freddie King. His biggest hit was "The Stumble" and "Have You Ever Loved a Woman?" Have you ever loved a woman so much you trembled in pain? That was one of the lines in it. And Eric Clapton heard that song in the 60s and went, I want to be a guitar player.
Wow.
That was the turning point. So he played with them one time in concert and he was showing off. And he said he put his hand on my hand and it felt like someone had a vice grip on my hand and he could have broke every bone in my hand. He went, slow the fuck down.
At least it was his hand
down. That's what he said to him. Slow the fuck down. And smiled. So he said from that point on, I played rhythm. Which is funny. Okay, we ready for something else? Or are we done?
You got another picture?
We are. Has this fixed my audio? Is my audio any better? Has this done any good to my audio? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yes, your audio sounds good now.
It does.
Yeah, a lot better.
This one's extremely weird. You guys ready for extremely weird? Here we go.
Sure.
And I'll be right back. Okay, guys, just 1 sec. I'm going to get a drink.
Sure.
Looks like his ponytail has been removed from his head and extended way back. Or that's a bird on his shoulder.
A bird. It looks like it's a peacock. And he's pissing off a mountain. Is he not? He's Pissing
I
off a
wonder if we've
cliff
got
at least.
anyone watching going to comment. We've had some good ones so far. Looks like it's almost a rose. The head of a
A
rose.
rose? Ah, you're talking about his back.
Yeah. With a moustache on the side.
That could be Freddie Mercury and his mustache blew off. There you go.
Yeah.
His tights look a little bit too tight.
Tight.
There you go.
His bum
Yeah.
looks a little out of proportion. Looks a little small.
I want to know where the brick wall
I've got a
is.
small bum.
Yeah, he does. It looks like he's been working out, but didn't bother with the legs.
Interesting.
Okay, did everybody chew on this? Can I tell you what? I've never ever put this on, only because it's so freaking weird. So this is in an alley in Toronto,
Okay.
and it's huge, huge.
Okay.
And to me, it looks like some guy pissing against a wall with a raven on his shoulder.
Uh-huh.
And it also has some other homophobic, autoerotic tendencies of weirdness with it as well. So, yeah.
I think we nailed it. I think we pretty much got that.
Yeah.
We got the bird. I got the pissing. I put in the Freddie Mercury. So.
Yeah.
I spotted his tights. I spotted his tights.
Yeah. Are they even tights? You know what I mean?
Well,
we
I
don't
believe
know.
so.
Yeah. Yeah. Is he
Maybe
wearing
they're just leather pants. Yeah, maybe not tight.
Here's the thing, folks. If you watch this later, go to your YouTube or wherever you have a big TV, and you'll be able to see the images fully and be able to get a better grasp. You'll be able to see every single brick, and you'll see the detail in the background. The detail in the background, even the clouds on the bottom here are amazing. So we're seeing it on this tiny little screen. So these things I usually put up, you'll get a lot more detail. And the other great thing is if you watch the videos on YouTube, it'll go directly to the very next wonderful Martin and Mr. Heaven broadcast, and you'll be able to watch them forever. Okay, we're going to go something lighter after that.
Okay. Hello, Erie. Says Donica.
Okay, name the
Gone
people
past
in the
hello,
photo.
Steve.
Dean Martin, Jerry Lee Lewis, and Marilyn
Dean
Monroe.
Martin.
Yes, correct. Look at Jimmy's got some culture. Way to go, Jimmy. I'm
Love Dean
impressed.
Martin.
I'm impressed that you know that. How old are you, sir?
I'm not that young. I'm 40, 48?
48. Well, you look good, man. You're doing
Thank
something
you very
right.
much. Thank
Yeah.
you very much. It's the lighting.
It's all the lighting.
What do you think of the green screen, Michael?
I love the green screen. I think it brings out the earthy tones myself.
Yeah, well,
Yes.
that's what they mean
I'm
when
gonna
they
get
say
me
green.
one of those.
It's a green screen. It's a green screen.
To me, it says he's all about nature. It's not about him. He's not a bulldozer. He is a man that's connected with his inner feelings, and he doesn't really give a shit if you like his green screen.
You know what? The point is, I'm too lazy to really get it going. Like,
Okay.
so some was it video applications that it already has the green screen built in, like the that feature, but here you have to like add something else to it. So I'm just too lazy.
Well, good. I'm good. I applaud your laziness and
Thank
you
you very
knowing
much.
you're lazy.
Yeah.
And Eric has blurry screen. Are you okay, Eric? We can hear you though, right?
Yeah.
But the
yeah.
fascinating thing is, though,
Can you hear me?
this is the
This-
point, Michael. Just as mentioned, so you're looking on like preview there for Eric. But often I find that while you just saw that blur, if we'd have been on the main screen and he'd have been in vision, it would be okay
Yes.
on that, or vice versa. It's bizarre.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna put you guys up again just for a second. So he's correct with that, and it's actually crystal clear. We'll also
Good.
put this beautiful gentleman up for a second. I'm gonna bring me down. We don't need to see me. There we go. But this next image, guys, just because the crowd sometimes, if you have too many images, they think they're watching a broadcast, they don't even think you're there anymore.
It's kind of like the Brady Bunch. Okay.
Yeah, you guys are the Brady Bunch or Hollywood Squares. It's very much like Hollywood Squares. So this next one I dedicate to the wonderfulness and the brain power of our wonderful Eric. Here we go. This is what this one is. Okay. Yes. Chew on that for bed, everybody.
There's the paradox. There's the paradox. That's the
Pineal
paradox.
gland.
That's like we're inside the universe and the universe is inside us.
Colin, you're a little better. That's good. You're sound, buddy.
Yeah, I felt like he was talking from within the brain.
Yeah. When I close my eyes and get a lot of vision,
that's
sometimes
that paradox,
that's what
isn't
it
it?
looks like. It looks like a holographic image made out of blue colors.
Has everybody chewed on that enough?
Well, I was just going to add that for me,
yes,
it suggests that I'm quite lucky not to have a nut allergy. There's somewhat of a walnut I can see there, although I know it's.
No, I was going to say the same thing.
I can see why you guys are friends. Okay.
But yeah, I hear Michael saying, moving swiftly on.
No, keep going. No, this is your show. Do whatever you want.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else do you see there, buddy?
I see. Well, obviously, it's very bright. I think we can see there that I would suggest this is a very, very significant point for some of our other discussions, that are more focused on us and our existence, which is that what goes on in our brain is often more powerful than we realize, and so much light. And again, I sort of put in the same sentence there, positivity can come from within in a mental way, despite what your physical situation may be at that moment.
Ooh, that was deep.
Beautiful.
I hear a slight bit of hum. Does anybody else hear that?
That's Colin, and that's not to be confused with the other. I haven't mentioned it, but
it might be the brain.
No,
it
the
brain.
I was muted.
Right.
I was muted.
That was the brain then.
When I'm muted.
Warp speed.
Yeah, it's a good point, Colin.
It could be Eric.
No,
it could be Eric. No,
could be.
Could
Hold
be.
on.
I'm gonna mute myself. Tell me if you hear it after I mute myself. 1, 2, 3, mute.
Yes, Eric. Sorry,
I
Colin.
think on this occasion it is Eric. Interesting.
So, Colin,
I think it's my
once
air
again,
conditioner.
you know what, Colin? Once again, misunderstood, and this time by a man, not a woman. Okay, so are we going to the next one?
I'm used to it.
Just beat me down.
Let's go.
Is everybody chewed on this? Eric, did you even say anything about this? Eric?
I did. When I close my eyes, this is what some of the visions look like for me.
Me too. Okay, here we go. Superhero theme coming up. We haven't done that yet. There we go.
Ooh.
There you go.
Wait, no. Can you zoom out a bit on that image, Michael? I don't see you there.
We've got Iron Man. We've got Captain America.
Mm-hmm.
Batman.
I'm not sure the other guy.
And
obviously we've got
we got Edward.
So we're talking about the real superhero
doctor?
are the doctors. The real superhero are the doctors at this moment in time. I think there's a recent, probably, depiction.
So what we need to do is explain
like
what's
that.
going on. Edward, what we're doing is we're putting images up, and then each of us says a little bit about the image. We don't go more than a minute. We try not to go more than a minute each, and we go to the next slide until they tell me not to do it anymore. I don't know if they're even enjoying it anymore, but it's deep. Go, Edward. Thank you. Say
Go,
hello.
Edward. Where do you want me to go, Michael?
I want you to go to the highest form of consciousness. I want you to find all the joy, bliss, and abundance this life has to offer. I want you to find inner peace and a knowing that is beyond this realm.
I have it. Thank you. I got it. Shine, Martin, I apologize. I did get a call, and I had to dip out on that call.
Right.
So,
That's the last thing I thought of. I just thought it was as I was just typing to you now. It's great that you've managed to rejoin. And yeah, for those that aren't aware, at the very beginning of this broadcast, Edward and I were starting what was the beginnings of a very fascinating and meaningful conversation. But then he dropped out. So I, understandably, if I say so, thought it might be a technical thing either on this platform or with his 3G, 4G, or 5G signal. But now we know. Thank you for that.
yeah, it was no. I got a call I had to take, but the current photo you guys have up looked like different superheroes. Most importantly, I want each one of you to know that you are your own superhero. We live in the land, unfortunately, of make believe, but you don't have to live in the land of make believe. You can be who you are. There's only one of you, never been one of you. You are the best possible person on the planet. Thank you for your existence, and just go be great.
Amen.
Well said.
I think it also is very symbolic of saying to each of us that we've got to start questioning some of our maybe beliefs that we've held for a long time, or certainties, because masks used to be synonymous of trying to hide an identity. But this picture speaks volumes when it says that a mask is not necessarily just to hide an identity.
Wow, we're getting deep here.
Is that Mr. Colin?
It is. Colin's in the
Yeah.
house, and not Phil Collins, but yeah.
Michael, I think you're into the music mood lately. You've been playing a lot of good music, going from Charlie Wilson to Phil Collins, man.
So nobody's really mentioned the surgeon here, the doctor.
Well, the surgeon is probably the most important of the heroes.
Yeah, I think that's what
it's probably a recent. This is a recent depiction.
Yes, of a
because of the
superhero.
COVID. Yeah, because the real superheroes are the guys are working. The hospitals at this moment.
Okay, are we ready for the next one, guys? Yes.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Bring it on.
Welcome to the future.
The land of AI.
Wow. My
Skynet.
names are many. My names are many, but my number is 10.
He's concerningly happy to me, the one right in the front of the camera there. Well, I say happy. He's got more of a smile than not in my mind when I first look at that image.
Anybody else?
Hint of a smirk there.
Manufactured.
That's it, Colin. Exactly.
I want to go back to what Colin said. Again, talking about the mask that we wear. Artificial intelligence is also another mask that we are tending to lean towards, which I think that when we take something artificial, when I look at these robots, we're taking away from our own experience and who we are, the human form, and what we can do and what we can produce. We want to do something which is very interesting to me outside of who we are versus just being us.
Well, now it's a virtual world, so we are really, but there are really people getting into it. And I don't know if you know about the new craze, the NFT, where people are actually buying houses and land within the internet space for thousands and hundreds of thousands of dollars. They're getting architects and artists to build them houses inside the web.
I understand. I hear you.
No, I'm just saying it's insane. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it is. But and I don't disagree with you. I because I'm in the death care profession, and I deal with everyday issues. Like we're the last responder. At the end of the day, it's going to change. And one of the things I share with people, the reality is that we're going to make a transition from our current existence at some point. I do not believe, and I'm talking to Shine about this, how many of us really talk about our own eulogy someday, or the fact that there is going to be an end of life. We don't deal with reality. We all want to live in a make-believe world, which is unfortunate versus living in the world that we actually have.
Well, the sci-fi wise, you're talking about death here, that the eventual thing is trying to, possible, probably not, but they're trying to transform your consciousness, or or take your consciousness and put it into a robot. That is like one of the end goals, like to save your consciousness, to keep your conscience alive, sort of in a programmed robot like the such. That's
I understand.
yeah,
Like
the
like
consciousness.
like you, yeah, like right now you're currently in Japan, and
Yeah,
I can appreciate the fact that we actually have live interaction, and you're not a robot. You're a real person on a real
absolutely,
continent on a real planet, and we're all dealing with real issues.
absolutely,
Like
absolutely.
his biggest issue is he has a green screen, according to Martin. You know,
Well,
and I think he's got a very charmed life.
yeah.
Are we
Well,
ready for the
Green,
next one? Okay.
Mike Green is pretty good. I think that's all we all looking for.
Michael, we will pick up on another chat.
I'm
but
more.
just
I'm into more to the silver and gold. Silver and gold, not green. Silver and gold.
There you go.
Okay. Do you want me to read this, or do you guys want to read it?
I'll
I
read it.
can read it for you if you like.
Okay,
Either
go ahead.
one. No, you go ahead.
The world is full of people who live to place judgment. May you choose to be a person who shines light in the darkest places.
Michael Bathurst.
Oh, it is. I see. Who placed and that's and right now we have a big problem with that, placing judgment. All you see is people just bashing each other online and not willing to. And they would never say these things if it wasn't for a keyboard. Yeah.
And again, artificial. So you
How do you
Artificial.
think they used
They're
to say these
hiding.
things
They're
before
hiding.
the
They're
yeah,
hiding.
but
keyboard?
it's artificial though. You guys,
Yeah.
I want you to understand. I'm on a scope right now with people who do not look like me, and other people I've never met tell me what I should feel about you. That is
Hmm.
utterly false. We're making judgments that are not real, and we are now basing everything in life like they tell me. I'm 57 years old, that all white people are racist and that's in their DNA. No, not true. That's a
Ridiculous.
false judgment, completely false judgment. Now we have this new thing, Asian hatred. Obviously there's things that happen on the planet, but let's not make this like it's everything that happens every single day. I have a whole lot of Asian friends and had them for years and years and years, and not one time have they ever told me, "Hey, you know what? I have a problem with racism."
You know
Just want to,
what?
I want to sound a pedant here,
They're
but I just want to
digging.
remind
They're
everyone
digging for it.
for you there, Edward, that when you say Asian, you're referring to people from, say, the Far East, Chinese, Japanese, from a US
Could be
point of
Indian
view,
too.
correct?
India is part of Asia too. Even
Thanks,
Iran
Jimmy.
to a certain extent. But yeah, you know what? They're digging for this, and they want
I
you
was,
they want to keep you divided. And they did this in Eastern Europe. They did this the same thing. They keep you divided. The other person
Exactly.
hates you. The other person is the reason that you have these problems. And while we live in the most prosperous time ever, of course, and it's continuing to improve. Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's never been better. It's never been better.
Yes, you're
Yeah,
correct. It's never been better. And I think that what we have to do is stop allowing people that we've never met to be our guide. It doesn't make any sense. You listen, all of us on here are individuals. None of us are the same. Our fingerprints
absolutely.
are not the same. Our DNA is not the same, but we all came through a sperm and an egg. I don't know why we're trying to put people in a group. Why can't we just be beautiful individuals? We don't put birds
Absolutely.
in the same group. We don't put fish in the same group. Why are we trying to put people in the same group? Let's all just enjoy life.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
I
And
love also on that picture. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, go, Eric. Go.
I love that picture that you posted with your saying, because it was talking about bringing light to dark places, and you
I'm gonna
had
dip out.
graffiti as the background, which comes from beautiful, creative people, and most of the time they will take a darker place like an alleyway from the picture that you had posted before, or an old burnt down or broken down building, and they lighten that space up. They give the community some kind of light by giving them a beautiful message or an artwork. Yes, sometimes do we have tags and bad things, but I found it interesting that you chose a mural of graffiti as the background there with positive images and light images.
And I'm a deep dude. Okay, so here is the next photo, which is pretty amazing if you can figure out. I know what's going on here because I know the origin of the photo. But what do you think's going on there? Can you see that?
The baby bird has fallen out of the nest, and the father and mother are trying to hold it up and probably bring it back up.
You got it.
Yeah.
You got it. And that's what's happening in this broadcast when you guys start going crazy. I'm the father trying to hold you guys up when you go into the race cards. Help! I'll be okay.
Are you sure you have the picture up the right way round there, Michael? Because it could possibly be that the bird that they're trying to save is actually, that we thought is actually just standing there on a mound of.
It is the right angle, my friend.
Okay, fine. And it's not balancing the other two.
And Eric's screen is going green, and he doesn't even have a back screen. Jimmy, I will have you on. I'll have you on any broadcast you want to be on with me. You add spice like nobody. You got fire in your belly. We need more of you in the world, brother.
Thank you.
And I mean that wholeheartedly. We got too many. Hippies. Me. I'm hippie with an edge. Well, that's what we should call me. Here we go. All right, next one. What do you think this represents? And really look closely at the photo. I wish this was on a big screen.
I'm opening it up here.
There's one business that's left in this building. One business. It's hilarious. I may have to tell you, but if you can see this on your TV later, is a psychic medium.
I was going to say I was probably a psychic medium.
It's a psychic medium. I'm thinking, how good is this psychic if they knew the building wasn't going to be torn down and they opened the business there? But this is actually Toronto. This is
Maybe he knows. Maybe he knows that something good's going to happen. Maybe he knows.
Okay. In what way? He's going to get paid? For the property?
Maybe he knows that the building's going to be regenerated and it's going to be... Yeah.
What was that? 3723?
Business will pick up again.
Yeah, there it is again. Freakazoid robots and android. It's good. I like it. Guys, I can stay or I can go. Are you enjoying this or is this just silly? I think it's spurring some really heated debate. You guys went from AI to current issues. This is why I like it. It spawns it's almost like throwing a hot potato. Do you know what I mean? Here, no, you take it. No, you take it. No, you take it. So, yeah. How are you feeling about it, Martin? Do you want to?
I'm feeling good. Everyone's happy here. Everyone's positive. Everyone is moving forward in a productive way.
Well, Jimmy's on fire. I just want to keep putting some lighter fluid to the flame, just to get him going.
We are in a positive spiral, so maybe that's the cue for the Crusaders. I don't know, Michael.
Okay, so tell me what you get from that picture there that you just saw. What do you see from there? To me, it makes me a little sad.
Yeah, it reminds me of where we are at the moment with our estimated economies. The high street was in a bad state before pandemic, and now, the change once things become closer to what was the original norm, the change is going to be quite shocking to some people. The number of stores throughout the UK that have closed down, the names that we've been familiar with, and the independents as well, more so, and this is the way we're going if we don't kind of balance everything in a sensible way. I mean, it says to me, we all use a big website out there, certainly again during the pandemic, understandably, for home deliveries. We're talking Amazon, we can mention their name. And if we're not careful and we just continue to do that, this is what the high street's going to end up like in a lot of places.
A great place for a music video.
The flip side of that. Yeah. 100%. But the flip side of that is, what is it to say that it's always darkest before the dawn?
Yeah,
maybe as I started to say earlier on,
absolutely, Colin. No, we're going through a change. The change is necessary.
Yeah,
but just balancing. I mean, so there's certain services.
Eric wants to say something. Eric, what's up, buddy?
I kind of go with Colin on this one. I mean, I also see it in this way that, you have a desolate, hopeless building there, and you have the psychic that's still flourishing, still open, still seizing the moment. Maybe has the better perspective, has entered the cave, so to speak. You still have life walking around as though nothing's going on, but you've got this psychic right there in the middle,
The optimist.
embedded, waiting for everyone to. If you do see them, you'll go to them, but if you don't see them, you'll just keep on in the same little herd mentality.
I love that. That was beautiful. Okay, we ready for the next one? This is a photograph I took of a man that hangs out in the subway, talks to people, gives out literature, and he's a brave man. And that is his actual jacket that he wears all the time.
I want to know what his message is to atheists and agnostics.
I love how it has Jesus and then it has Christ emphasized in different letters. There, kind of the outside is lit up and the inside is the color of the jacket, because Christ has its own meaning besides Jesus.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so usually now if this was, guys ready? Is everybody chewed on that? Okay, we got quiet. I like that. Go ahead.
What were you going to say, Colin?
I was just going to say the flip side of that. I like to play the devil's advocate, because we've got Michael sort of spearheading the show at the moment. So in that vein, I'm going to say, sort of tongue in cheek, that, it's all right, the guy saying Jesus Christ loves you, but he could be feeling a little bit dejected, a little bit sorry for himself, and sort of come from the perspective of, but why doesn't he love me? That's the flip side. There's always two ways of looking at any situation, and it's so easy for us to see the negative side of it, but nobody had pointed that out. So I just felt that I needed to bring it to the table. But there's always two sides to every story, whether that's a positive or a negative. And sometimes the negative is going to be the thing that feeds us, that gives us the encouragement to put one step in front of another, in front of another.
Absolutely. Thank you for that.
So Jimmy, can you see that from where you are? Can you read it?
Yes, I can. Let this day awaken new levels of clarity. Be patient with the people who bring a sense peace to your world. Never stop being in pursuit of your deepest desires. Choose to be in a state of endless dreaming and gratitude this weekend. This weekend, it's about to start.
Mm-hmm.
And this is another one by Michael Bathurst. Yes.
So you can chew on it if you want. For me, when I wrote this, I think I had a bad day. And this was a way of me dreaming about the weekend, I think, coming. But I think we all have to try to live in a state of gratitude. Focus on the things that are good, right? Not so much on the lack in our life. Because we tend to put the focus on things that we don't have currently. But if we look back in time, like many of the things I have now that I take it for granted, I would have gave anything to have 20 years ago, 30 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Martin, we haven't heard much from you. What's going on? You still having the echo chamber in your ear?
You're muted.
Yeah, he keeps on muting himself. There you go. I'm muted.
I was just going over that paragraph again, Michael, and reading quite deeply into it, really. There's a lot there. And yeah, I can only agree without sounding boring. Yeah, I can only agree with everything it says. Every day, we should just we should be ready when we open our eyes to go out there and get it, whatever it is we want to would focus on and achieve and learn. And
Eric, did you want to say anything? Colin, did you want to say anything? Are we done on this?
I'll take a stab at it.
Stab it. Tear it apart.
Let this day awaken new levels of clarity. Be patient with the people who bring a sense of peace to the world. I have just a little bit of discrepancy with that, because you're asking to be patient with the people who bring the peace to the world. Then at the end it says, choose to be in a state of endless dreaming and gratitude. My endless dreaming is to actually be able to look at the people who I may not see clearly. And I have to be patient with them as opposed to the ones who are already bringing a sense of peace. And oftentimes, like Colin was saying a minute ago, that negative person brings me into a higher level of vibration or a clarity within myself to be able to operate, so that I can connect these dreams to my reality, and they're no longer endless dreams. They are an endless reality.
Thanks for that, Eric. I notice as well that sentence there, or part of, where it says, be patient with the people who bring a sense of peace to your world. I think what I'm getting from that is, of course, that while you might have trouble and strife from other areas and other people in your life, don't let that negativity spill over to those who aren't causing such problems, and instead of actually...
That makes sense. Finally, that makes sense.
Thanks, Jimmy.
For the next one? Or did Colin... Is everybody ready? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're ready.
Don't wish it. Wear eraser. Wish you
easier.
Were better. Oh, easier. Eraser.
Well, you could, eraser would be candy too.
Don't wish it. Yeah, because wishing is kind of like empty.
Colin and I really love it. We love this man.
I like Jim Rohn. He's a star, and he actually paraphrased Hill. He said Napoleon Hill said something along the lines of, "Don't wish for more stuff. Wish for a way of expressing more gratitude for the stuff that you've already got." So this was sort of paraphrasing it, but yeah, wise words. Can you hear that buzzing noise?
Yes.
Somebody shaving their head.
I've just
you know what it sounds like? It sounds like an electric razor to me.
Yeah, somebody shaving their head or something.
Or something else. But
it could be one of those.
Let me just tell you.
Someone's busy. Okay,
let me just tell you
what. Might have been, an electric toothbrush is what I'm saying.
That's I wasn't going there.
I have to tell you the story of what's going on. I have to tell you this. Right, let me tell you the story of this. Right, I went for a shave earlier on. And halfway through the shave with my electric razor, suddenly you get caught short and you think, I've got to go pee. So I'm shaving away while I'm peeing. My electric razor dropped straight into the toilet bowl after I'd had a pee.
Oh.
I managed to fish it out.
Was it a wet and dry model, Benny?
It won't switch off. No, it's the switch. The switch won't turn off. The razor it's been going ever since.
Oh, wow.
Oh, God.
So is that what we're
Obviously,
hearing?
I didn't finish having the shave. That's what you're hearing. I'm trying to keep it running until the battery dies, but it seems to be going on forever. So I'm sat on it, hoping that's going to quiet it down. But that's just making me smile.
You were hoping that no one could hear.
I don't believe it's a razor at all, to be honest with you.
No,
I'm sorry, buddy. That you can call it whatever you want. Yeah. And sometime you probably got some ever ready batteries. We could be here for a while.
I mean, okay. I'm tallying that up with what I can see from the vision of Colin right now, which is a quest for happiness. I mean, it kind of tallies up with what we're hearing, I guess. But
it ties in, doesn't it? Ties in nicely.
I just want to go back to that last picture you were showing, though, Michael, where it said, "Don't wish it."
At least you pronounced it right.
Thank you, Colin. Don't
At
wish.
least you pronounced it right, Martin. At least you didn't say that it was a quest for a penis. So I'm pleased with that.
My name's not Ken Dodd. That's another story, as y'all know, if you remember that.
Happiness.
The greatest gift I possess. All right. Don't wish it were easier. Wish you were better. And I'd just like to suggest that rather than having to be better when things aren't sort of going ideally, sometimes it's not the fact that you're at a standard or a level that isn't good enough. Again, it's sometimes that what's around you is having a negative impact, which is possibly you might think a fine line or even pedantic, but I'm suggesting that if you move that negativity, that force, that energy away from yourself, then you might effortlessly appear to improve in that situation.
Is everybody chewed on the Jim Rohn part?
Well, I was going to say, the only thing I had problem with is the word wish, because that's kind of empty. You're asking for something that's beyond you. I've heard the same phrase said before, and I'm going to screw it up because I don't remember it, but it says, don't ask for an easier life, but may you have the strength to make it through the greatest storms. So, when you wish for something, you're kind of like, can I have it? But when you're making it,
Yeah. Okay, we're going to go to the next one because we're
Pop.
This is Iggy Pop.
It's Ken Dodd.
There you go.
I thought it was Ken Dodd.
Is that not an amazing photo? If that truly is a vibrator, Colin, or a razor, can you put that in another room? Is that possible?
It's like the Energizer Bunny. It's still going.
Can you not get it out of your ear? Are you having an eargasm? Like, what's going on here?
We're nearly there. We're nearly there.
We almost made it. Listen, I do have to go, so let's do the Iggy Pop here, and let's finish her up. Jimmy, thank you. You made my day, by the way, Jimmy. You really did.
Great.
I've never met you before. My God, you're a hoot and a half. And you have Helke here now.
Oh yeah, there you go. People are checking in.
She's going, what is the subject? It is about eargasms and concealing pleasure. Those are the two topics today. And the main speaker is Colin Porter. Thank you. There we go. So right now we've got Iggy Pop up. Can I tell a quick story about this photo here?
Sure.
If that's okay. This is the time period around when him and David Bowie were an item.
Okay.
And David Bowie did everything in his power to catapult his career and made sure that he was seen on the better stages. And I believe that this is the Masonic Temple in Detroit, but I'm not sure about that part. But it's an early photo. It's probably about 70s.
It's the 70s, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's 68 to 70 in that.
Really? That early?
Yeah, and my God, is he ripped. Like, if you see this photo on TV, he has muscles within muscles within muscles. He is just,
He still does. He's a little bit older, but I think, well, at least until the 90s, he was pretty ripped.
Yeah. But this is him at his finest. This is before every drug known to man went through his system.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I'm going to drop, guys. So you guys can continue on, but I hope you enjoyed this.
Michael, it's been a pleasure.
Yeah,
it's been a pleasure.
Brilliant. Always.
Yeah, and Colin, may you work out the battery issues. I wish you well, my friend. Take care.
Have a good rest of your day there. That's Michael Bathurst from the Canadian part of the universe. Awesome stuff. I guess what we have to do here is somehow... I see what's happened here. There we go. Do that. Press that magic button there, I think. And we're all back in vision. those that have been. Hey, technically, and hey, I'm still hearing that mosquito. So, Colin, I think you need some sort of repellent there.
I need to do something. I've thrown it across the other side of the room and I can hear it go bzzz. That's some kind of demented fly.
I thought you're obviously in the smallest room in the building. Then, well, it's. I thought you were. I didn't realise you're still stuck in that bathroom.
No.
Can you take the batteries out?
I think you're going to have to.
No, it's fixed. It's all screwed together. I think I'm just going to take it in the bedroom and let it just run its course.
Do you have a hammer?
No, I don't mean with me.
You don't have a hammer?
I've got a bowl of water. That might do. A bowl of water.
No, then you'll really kill it. It might be salvageable.
I think it will. I think it's just the switch. I mean, obviously it's shorted the switch, so the switch is on all the time. I'm surprised it didn't just kill the unit itself.
Well, judging by what's going on at the moment, it seems like you're not going to be. Well, if you still continue to own that thing, then you're not going to have much facial hair anytime soon, unless you can disconnect the power in another way. Yeah.
It's not my face I'm worried about.
So it isn't a razor blade after a shaver. All right, okay.
Just adding a bit of humour to the show. A little bit of humour. I'm used to it.
He was trimming the hedges. The manscape.
It's all quite
manscaping.
As well now.
He's still got to go.
Yes. I'll tell you something. You could make a very good commercial for one of the brands of batteries. I think the way that's been going on during the broadcast.
I think it's a rechargeable.
Right. Because it used to be rabbits banging on drums, if you remember. So maybe you could update them on the situation.
That was Energizer.
Yeah, the bunny.
Oh, it was. That was the Energizer bunny. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
The Duracell battery longer and longer.
Yeah, we used to. By the way,
I'll be back in a second. I'm just going to.
Just going to have a shave. I remember, of course, in the USA, it's always been called Energizer, I believe, that brand. But in the UK, for a very long time, it was Ever Ready.
Ever Ready, with the cat.
I don't recall any cats or any other animals.
Black cat. Yeah, there was a little black cat on it.
But there was certainly the name Ever Ready, and that changed to Energizer probably about 20 years ago now. Yeah,
no, Ever Ready. I think Ever Ready still exists. It's got the cat with a 9 on it.
Right. Thank you, Gabriel, for reminding us that you are still there and paying attention to us. That's good to know. Thank you for that, and thanks for being a part of this throughout the broadcast. It's been certainly an intriguing and interesting way it has been progressing. And sometimes it's best to go without a script, as we're proving right here.
Yeah.
Listening in now on Lincoln. How are we doing?
Just a bit of trivia. Just a little bit of trivia there for you, Martin. The Ever Ready batteries. There was an HP and an SP, wasn't there? So there's like an HP11 and an SP11, HP2 and SP2.
What about the number 9? What was it? A PP3 and a number something 9. But anyway, yeah.
PP3, yeah, PP9, yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
I think this razor of mine, it's like a PP240 or something.
It sounds like you've got a car battery in it, that's for sure. Yes, absolutely.
I got it wired to the mains.
Well, you did PP on it.
This is so true.
Yes.
Silence.
I was just waiting for that. It's nice to have a bit of silence sometimes.
It is, yeah.
Just take a breath. Well, we've been going now for, we're not too short of a couple of hours before long. So, yes, good stuff. What have you had happen to you over the last 7 days, people? Anyone listening there? Have you had a little accident like Colin appears to have had with his razor falling down the toilet? Drop it in the chat. Let us know. I'm just trying to think what's happened to me this week. If I've had any such unfortunate situations occur. Not really, I don't think.
Didn't you have to
Hey,
sort
John-
out your car for
John
the
Powell,
people who
my
were
buddy.
supposed to work on your car?
John Powell.
I had. Sorry, I was
I
just.
missed it.
Sorry, Eric. I was just about to say that only. I think it was this morning, local time here. I picked up a saucepan, a small, very cheap saucepan that I'd purchased a little while ago, and after cooking with it recently, and also the oven had been on, so I thought the oven wasn't too hot, and I put the saucepan in there after it had been washed to cool down, and the oven was apparently a little bit too hot because the handle had started to melt. It was plastic, very slightly. But this morning I picked it up, and as I picked it up, I was contemplating replacing it anyway. Only, as I say, it's something like, it was silly. It was like $150 US dollars. Not 150, but $1.50. And as I picked it up, the handle snapped. There you go. So clearly it had been made brittle by it somewhat melting. And
How about your hand?
what about my hand?
Well, I mean, you grabbed the handle that was melting. What's the deal?
I didn't explain it too well then. So this was a few days ago, or whenever it was that it had been put in the oven. It had cooled down, but this morning I picked it up on the side to use it. And I did use it actually, but after it had been washed, I picked it up again, and this time the handle just broke. So it was brittle.
You know what? I used to like not really care about frying pans. Like I would just buy. I wouldn't buy the cheapest one, but I'd just buy a frying pan. But a good frying pan makes a huge difference.
This was a saucepan, but I hear you talking about frying pan.
No. Frying pan or saucepan, the same thing. So recently I've been using this. I think it's an American brand called Meyer.
John Powell.
What about John Powell?
He's saying, go on.
John Powell, you should invite him up. Yeah, you should invite him up. He's a great guy. We're actually doing a broadcast tonight, Unpacking the Week.
Well, he has.
John says, looks like you guys are doing Unpacking the Week.
Yeah, if he wants to join us, let's see we could certainly have the introduction, so he knows what to do. Cast iron, it's a pan and a weapon. Laugh out loud.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Hi-ho, Silver.
But, anyone else have anything happen this week that shouldn't have done? Just a little mishap.
Shouldn't have done.
Well, a mishap, as we were saying. Colin's dropped his razor down the toilet. I've had a brittle pan handle break on me. But, yeah. Did you mention about the vehicle there, Eric?
Oh, I was saying, well, you ended up having to go to the people working on your car to sort it out for them to how to work on your car.
Oh, and they didn't, and I'm not. They've been very helpful overall, but I took the car to have a few minor, some would say, repairs looked into to see if indeed they could carry out the work. And one particular thing. Physically, it's a small thing, obviously, USB socket. It wasn't working. I'd tried multiple devices, multiple cables, but it wasn't charging. When you put the device in, moments later, it would stop charging. So I knew it wasn't the device. I knew it wasn't the cable, because, as I say, I wasn't just going to waste their time as well as mine by not thoroughly exhausting all options here. And then what I thought was prove my point that it wasn't anything that I was doing wrong or anything that I had hardware-wise. When they gave me a courtesy car, replacement car, while they kept mine for a few days. So when I plugged the device in using the same cable into this replacement car that I had, it worked perfectly. And it had previously worked, my device and the cable, with other vehicles that I tried it in, very similar to the one that I have. And when I returned to the garage, they said to me, we've tried it, we've plugged it all in, and our device works with our cable. And I said, could you just show... Well, I first of all showed them what I was saying on the car that they'd loaned me, which is that my device works with my cable. I plugged it into my car then, and sure enough, it didn't work. Then I said, would you mind showing me the device and the cable that you used to test? And they did. And on the first attempt, it worked. And within seconds after the guy showing me it worked, he unplugged it, and we tried another couple of things. And then I asked them I can't remember why, but for some reason, could you show me your device and cable once more? And when he did, it failed. It went in for a few seconds charging, and then it stopped charging. So, but they were very quick to.
And ShineCast checked out. And we got John here, John Powell.
dropped.
Sean's
John
by the
Powell.
least.
Where we go? Oh, where is this? Saskatchewan? What is this? Canada? Saskatchewan.
Yeah.
Regina, Saskatchewan.
Did
Yeah,
I
you're-
drop for
you're-
quite a
How's it going,
while?
buddy?
Yeah, was it so from what I remember, so where are you? I mean, I'm seeing you got, was it the river? Was it an ocean out there? I didn't realize there was an ocean in Saskatchewan.
It's a green screen.
Yeah, I know. I'm joking. Is that yeah.
You
'cause I know
look
you're-
somewhat transparent too, like you're in spirit form. I can see the
Yeah,
ocean
because
through you.
I am the incredible floating head with a green shirt on with a green screen.
Well, you
Beautiful.
are way out there. I mean, this is a place that I never knew that people. I never met anybody that actually lived out there.
Oh
This
yeah.
is like you got like what you got. What do you got there? You got Eskimos up there, huh?
Yeah, Eskimos and polar bears. Matter of fact,
Are you serious? I'm like
No.
I'm joking.
no. We
Well,
really,
I mean, that's-
okay, so
For me,
where
it's
I
so
live-
far up.
Where I live, we have a couple of shopping malls, and then they have statues. Like one mall has statues of polar bears, and one mall has statues of penguins. And when a
Okay.
friend of mine made a sarcastic comment about that, I went and took pictures of it during the winter and sent him the pictures of the penguins and polar bears.
Yeah, that's pretty far. I mean, you're in Canada, but it's like pretty far. I mean, I'm not far up, but in the middle of
Mm-hmm.
pretty much in the middle. This is like near the Dakotas.
Yeah, I'm straight north of North Dakota.
Yeah. Okay. So to me, that's always like been like kind of a barren place.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of. I mean, that's my image of it.
Yeah, it's all flat. People here often joke that you could watch your dog run away for about 3 or 4 weeks.
Wow.
It's super flat. It's one of those things where like you could watch your ex run away, and no matter how much you miss her, just know that your aim's getting better each day.
Okay, I'm
the same
on
problem with mine.
the map here. Oh,
Hi, John.
Regina's kind of
Welcome to London
Oh,
virtually. I'm fascinated by your profile and the
Uh-oh.
write-up. It says
He
that
dreams-
John
he dreams about the
specialises-
beach.
Well, apparently, apart from that, he specialises in recognition of patterns in human behaviour, so
Yes.
human behavioural science, breaking down patterns of self-sabotage from beginning to end, and then recommending specific action plans for such individuals that he's working with. Content creation structure is also a forte of mine.
yeah, that was what Mr. Porter decided to have me put on there. Oh, by the way, I did content creation.
Yeah, but this is
But you do.
fascinating on the
But you do.
human science and behavioural side, because of course, I mean, I'm not even going to go into any of the conversations specifically right now, but the first thing came to mind was obviously humans, absolutely, their behaviour is dependable on their immediate environment and surroundings at any given time. And we'll have to leave all that for another time, I think. But pandemic has proved, that we can. Well, actually, there's someone I was about to say. Pandemic has proved how we can often be irrational, and that's coming from authority and those that we've given the power to run our various countries across the planet. But I'm just trying to think of there is. I think is it irrational? I can't remember. But there's someone I have followed for a while, and I can't remember his name. Where it's all about human irrational behaviour, and he starts demonstrating how we can look at various illusions, 2D. You look at something on paper, but then immediately most people. It's a bit like the wine glass illusion, where actually it's two people, or the same, a reflection of someone looking in a direction.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Illusions, yeah.
But that's all.
Did you plug your book, John? John's an author as well, Martin.
Okay.
So I've written
He's written
and published like a personal development self-help book because of like I'm one that came from like what you had mentioned, like a kind of a rocky point in life. So I came from a rocky point, and then I kind of overcame and kind of went over the humps of that, and then I wrote and published a book about it, and that's what Colin's talking about.
Right. So you've actually experienced.
You should drop your link in there.
Gosh, Colin, this is I feel like I'm bogarting somebody else's broadcast.
That's okay. Shameless plug. You know, Martin won't mind you posting a link to your book. I wouldn't have thought, because Martin's a good guy and Jimmy's a good guy too.
I've actually been on the broadcast once with you
guys.
Whoa.
We've got a big question mark there in the top corner of the screen there, Eric. Oh, hold on. Eric's with us too. Can't forget that positivity there on the East Coast of the USA. Oh.
East Coast. He's more like Central.
Do you think Eastern Standard Time, Eric?
You're right. A little. It's toward the east, but I still look at that as like this in the middle, because it's like it's got a state. He's got a state between him and the ocean.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, excellent job, Martin. Yes. If I may just jump in here, just quickly. I just want to check with John.
I'm just eating a
broadcast
for
tonight,
breakfast.
but okay, that makes sense. Tea and biscuits, but tonight when we've got the broadcast running, is it okay if we invite Martin and Jimmy up if they want to pop by?
Oh, anybody can pop by. It's basically the same thing that you guys are doing now, is Unpack the Week, basically. Like
something like that is turned into, certainly. So
what is that, A&W? Is that A&W got there? A&W root beer?
I think one of the good things as well.
It's a glass of water.
Okay.
Yeah, no, one of the good things as well would be to also have a little conversation about how we see the next 7 days panning out, how we'd like that to happen, and what we've got planned, because what we plan doesn't always work out. But if we have a structure, that's the point, then we can always be ready for the unexpected. But just on that note, I might have to take my vehicle back now, because what I didn't finish saying, I can't remember why we deviated, but Eric was mentioning the vehicle. I mentioned, because I cut out, didn't I? My technology dropped off. Basically, though, after playing around at the garage, I took the vehicle away. I was a bit unhappy about them not looking as far into this as I thought they might be able to, this USB socket that had let me down. And they said they'd look into it and call the manufacturer. I got a telephone call an hour after I left the garage. Any chance of you returning your vehicle here? Because we've looked into this and it seems that it might be a software update. You know, I mean, come on now. Software update. What isn't there a software update for in our life now? You know, even that cheese sandwich. But seriously, I mean, I was too far away to take the vehicle back. So I am going to probably doing that in the next 7 days, if not, certainly in the next 14 days. Yeah. So just to square that circle. So yeah, getting back to your broadcast.
Eventually, we're going to be able to start doing that ourselves. I think, tinkering with.
We're putting in a software update for our heads.
Yeah, they don't want they won't want you to. They won't want you to. But eventually, that's what's going to happen.
That's going to be a scary day, because like when we get software updates, how many people get a software update on their phone and then their phone just kind of craps all over itself and it's dead? You have to totally restore it. What happens if it's in your brain? What are you going to do?
My window updates are turned off. My Windows updates are turned off.
Twice you've turned them off.
Just remind me what time the broadcast is tonight, John, because I can't remember.
Which time are you talking about? Are you talking about his local time, your local time, universal time? Which time? Any time.
Is it 5 o'clock your time, John?
I want to know what time it's going to be in Kuala Lumpur, please.
Yeah, it's going to be, Colin and I decided to do it 5 o'clock my time, and it's now, 10, 12 a.m. my time?
Yeah, we're 5 hours ahead of you.
Yeah.
On a good day, when the wind's blowing in the right direction.
That's right, but when it's blowing in the wrong direction, it's about 7 hours difference.
Yeah, I mean, right now in Japan, it's already tomorrow.
12 here.
Eric, will you be able to step in as well? Eric, will you be able to stop by as well?
Yeah, I should be able to.
Fantastic.
Well, the more the merrier. It makes for a really good conversation, just like you guys are doing,
Awesome. It's good to have a little bit of a structure, though, and that's how this will pan out over the next few weeks, if not before, at ShineCast. But again, today's broadcast, it was kind of impromptu because there was actually a little bit of a mix-up with the timing between myself and Jimmy, who are on here regularly. So because
I can do about that, though.
Broadcast started a little earlier. And I was speaking to someone else, and here we are now. And we've had, as always, some really good chat.
Mm-hmm.
with some great people.
Yeah, and that happened to me too. So, what is the time there for the? I was thinking the broadcast would start an hour later because you would go, but I could have been absolutely backwards on that one.
An hour
Our broadcast
later.
now we are 5 hours. Generally speaking, the UK is 5 hours ahead of Eastern Standard Time, USA. Yeah, so we're kind of back to that now for the next just under 6 months.
Okay.
It's now 5:15 almost, while it where you are is what midday 12:15 p.m.
So I apologize too.
There's no listen. Just so long as you write your lines and you give us, written down at the end of the session.
Right. We expect a 5-page apology.
You're right. Yeah. Well, just one will do. If you want to duplicate it 5 times, that's great. But there you go. Right.
Yeah.
Lovely.
In big letters. Big letters. Like
Is
at school when
daylight
they used to
saving
say,
time
right,
a good thing or what?
What was that, Jimmy?
I said, is daylight saving time a good thing or a bad thing?
Depends who you are.
Very bad. Universally bad.
It is universally bad. I think it is. It is.
Toes, but of course we know it stems from the days when the farmers wanted to make the best of the light. Oh,
sure, they can make best of a light by just waking up earlier or later.
Thank you for the award there, Helga. She's not joining us. I think what's happening is she came in earlier and explained she couldn't join us, although she was planning to because of her ill health somewhat. I'd said she should conserve her energy, absolutely, so she wasn't going to be able to talk and be in vision. But she's returned in the chat, and I did ask her, I said, and said, by all means, join us, but I think she's just going to stay out of the visual equation and at the moment, just because of what I've just said, which is good. Oh, Eric's disappeared.
Yeah, Eric did leave a
message. BRB.
Oh, absolutely. BRB, yes.
Is it like be right back or something? So, John, I'm 7 hours behind you. John, just trying to clarify tonight. So, 5 o'clock your time. It's going to be 12 o'clock my time, yeah?
Yeah, I think maybe. I don't know. I'm not really fixed on the time. Last week, I forgot about the broadcast entirely. So, I mean, it's not like it's a sentence thing. It's more like just have fun, kind of just relax and enjoy each other's company kind of thing, Now, tomorrow's broadcast, I did post up a thing for tomorrow's broadcast. I'm trying out this whole like post the future thing, and it kind of plans it out and shows you what's going to happen. I'm trying that out again, but yeah, we'll see.
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay. So well, I'm just going to introduce somebody who has, as I was saying moments ago, she's now, as I proved me wrong. Delightful that's happened. Delighted.
I'm gonna prove you wrong.
That's the Netherlands. That's Helga, who's another hour ahead of you, John. She's 6 hours ahead of you. Hello, Helga.
Well, do you hear me?
We do.
Do you guys hear me?
Yes, we do.
Yes, Helga.
Oh, yes.
We hear you loud.
I needed to come inside because later on I think I will be on one ear. I have a little bit of a flu. No COVID because I don't believe in COVID. It's just a cold. How are you doing?
Okay.
How are you, Helga?
How are you doing? Yeah.
I'm good. I will survive.
So what?
Gloria Gaynor, was it?
Yes. So Helga, what is exactly a cold, or what is your ailment?
The flu.
Oh, the flu. Okay, a flu. Okay.
Oh yeah, a normal flu.
Okay, I had the cold. As you know, 2 weeks ago I wasn't feeling too well. So, yes, it is that time of the year anyway. So.
Yeah.
Yes. Today it is very cold, and 2 days before it was over 22 degrees. So everyone summer clothes, and now we have to wear winter jacket again.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
yeah, it's normal that you get sick.
Yep. So much for global warming.
Welcome back,
Everybody's cold.
It makes you wonder. Just quickly,
Is
it
it
makes
me?
you wonder how
Action is bad.
much it is. It is you. It is you, Helga. I was just about to say, it makes you wonder how much conditioning plays into our everyday life. I mean, I was talking to a guy the other day, and I said to him, how's it going? He says, well, not been too bad. He says, but I've got a bit of a cold. He says, I normally have a couple a year. I said, all right. I said, so you've got another one to come then? He says, yeah, I normally get one around November. And he always does. It's like we're leading to that ourselves. It's like November, so I must be about ready to get a cold sort of thing. So it makes you wonder how much of an impact those certainties. I don't want to say belief because Eric's in the house and we don't say belief, but it makes you wonder how much those preconceptions impact on our lives. It really does.
I think it has a heavy impact. And everything you did, like it doesn't, like in your example of getting a cold for sure, but like everything, buddy. I mean, if you come on the broadcast here and you're like, oh, it's not going to be a great broadcast. Guess what? It's not going to be a great broadcast.
A great broadcast, yeah. So true, so true. Ah, dear. So Helga, apart from the flu, how's life treating you?
Oh, I can't complain. Each day.
You can't
You're
complain.
mute.
That's my.
Am I muted again?
Go ahead.
No, I can hear you.
No, you're good.
Okay. What was the question again?
How are you feeling? Besides
from
the
the
flu,
flu.
how are you feeling?
Oh, the last week? Overwhelmed each week when a new week comes and we go live. It's a week full of surprises. Each person that you get to know. And yesterday, Desiree mentioned that because of us not being online, that people were asking for us. So yeah, I'm grateful. I know that I missed the broadcast with Michael, but I'm grateful, and that was my week. Did I answer the question?
It answers the question absolutely perfectly.
Thank you.
Perfect.
Oh, I love this voice. So quiet.
Do you have a question, Helga, for Colin?
If I have a question for Colin?
Yes.
Oh.
Let me see.
I have a question, but I can't ask it on the net. No, just a kidding.
Bless you. Bless you,
No,
Helga.
I have a question. I love you all. Do you mind if I just sit and observe your energy? Because I want to be better tomorrow.
Of course, that's what I was saying earlier. I think the good advice, and you don't need us really to remind you that it's best to conserve that energy.
That's right.
And rather
I'll
than
send you some. We can all send you some energy, Helga. How'd that be?
Oh, yes, please.
I mean, if it helps, Helga, I am the great magical floating head.
Ooh.
No body. Nobody floating head.
Oh, that's cool. Is that how do they call it? It's a program
it's the
that
green
can
yes, OBS, green screen, or
Yeah.
another software. But the thing is, look, this is a prime example why this platform is great because of the transparency.
There you go.
Very good, Martin.
Oh, look,
Very
he
good.
matches Jimmy. We got 2 greens.
Oh,
Ah,
green
yes, we now have
screen.
what's going on there, Jimmy? Now you can see that. Hang on, Jimmy's got his green screen, and
Mhm.
so's John. So
I like to see my green.
now, which green screen do we prefer? Jimmy's green screen or John's green screen?
Mine.
The battle of the green screens.
Yeah,
Sounds good.
that's a new one for another broadcast.
We're live and in Technicolor.
Have you ever considered using a green screen, Martin?
Have I ever considered a green screen?
Yeah. Just
Yeah,
curious.
absolutely. In general, though, while I will at some point be changing this background, ideally more speedier than not, but whether that happens, I don't know. I personally recommend it's not an ideal practice, particularly when you're self-opping. There's enough to go wrong. So, if necessary, I prefer a background that is possibly, it's real. But at the moment, where I am doesn't lend itself to sharing that with you, shall we say? So, and I haven't got much space here, so that's right. Why immediately behind me, I have just a screen. But yeah, one day you never know. When I have a producer, and other people are doing a lot of the techie stuff, then perhaps a green screen will be used. It might actually, I say that maybe sooner rather than later, depending on some of the technologies that I'll be implementing here over the coming days and weeks.
Maybe
The only reason I asked, go on, John.
Maybe we should sit down and have a broadcast and invite some folks on and talk about how we get OBS to work with HAPS and how to kind of make OBS background work and get different scenes and things like that. Kind of have a whole broadcast dedicated just to that.
John, tell us your computer that you're using at the moment. Intel processor?
No. So my computer, full disclosure, I belted. It's not like it's a brand computer that like you buy off the shelf.
Sure.
So I put an AMD Ryzen 7 system in it because I like AMD. AMD I find is about a half or maybe 3/4 the price of Intel on average.
Mm-hmm.
So for equal performance for the most part. So I went with AMD. And then I think my graphics card's got Intel in it, but I just went with AMD Ryzen 7 system.
But you don't have much fanning going on there at the moment as you're broadcasting because it is very CPU intensive, and an app or a platform like HAPS often.
Right. So my tower, like my fans are quite loud, but I have a really good microphone that kind of deadens out white noise.
Right.
But I mean, let's be fair. Like, if your fans are going on your computer, you could buy. Like, I built my wife's computer, and I think I spent like $8 per fan, and they're LED, like fancy light up fans, blah blah blah. You can get non-light up fans for like $3 or $4 each. Like, it's not really expensive.
Right. Yeah, but again, as I say, it's quite CPU intensive, and that's the problem I have here at the moment. I'm actually on Mac, and definitely without question, Windows is certainly better than Mac when it comes to building a machine and getting bigger.
Yeah, building, yes. Running processes, though, in some instances. The CPU processor in Mac can be a little bit superior to like how the operating system uses the CPU on a Mac can be a little bit more superior to how Windows utilizes the same CPU.
Sure. But yeah, what you've got there it looks like a pretty decent set. It seems to be working well. Microphone's what you need next, though, isn't it?
Yes, it is. And I've got here, so I apologize for any loud bangs, but I will pull my microphone over into the camera view.
Oh, is that Blue Yeti?
A Blue Yeti. No stand, anything. It's just the stand that came with it. Nothing fancy. I got it as a Christmas gift.
I'm wondering if, it's a bit hollow where you are, and possibly that's the acoustics of the room. But I noticed, obviously, when you moved the Blue Yeti around just there, suddenly the sound improved just for a moment. But
because it's a directional microphone. Yeah. So if you talk to the front of it, the sound sounds better than if you go and talk to the back of it. The sound changes as it goes around the microphone. That's that kind of cancellation.
Yeah, it's like a figure of eight, they say, the cardioid.
Yeah.
No, the cardioid's different. It's a heart-shaped microphone, as you'll probably know. Yeah. And there we have it. A bit of techie stuff again here.
A little bit of it.
Awesome. But as you say, ideally, a separate broadcast when getting into tech and how to perform these sort of. You're using the virtual webcam at the moment, aren't you, on OBS?
Yes, through OBS Studio, I'm using a virtual cam. So when you install OBS, you have to kind of also install the virtual camera. It's not always in the original download and install OBS. You have to go and look it up and download that too sometimes. But once you do, you get it all set up, and then you tell your browser that, hey, I'm using this as my virtual camera. And then when you tell your browser that, HAPS will recognize it, and then you select your camera and HAPS as your OBS virtual camera from the list. Exactly. Start it up, and then you open up OBS and start your camera, and then there you go.
Sure. But again, for a lot of people that have existing machines, doing that is so CPU intensive when you've got all these different things running in the background and on the same machine. I mean, personally, I like to play safe and ideally use a separate encoder, ideally a separate switcher, and I can't wait to start implementing some Blackmagic technology, which I'm sure you're familiar with at the moment. But their latest ATEM, it's called an ATEM Mini switcher, is very powerful. It's almost unbelievable what they're offering in this little package. As I say, there's variable options out there, and people can choose when you start to do some sort of techie stuff.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of cheap.
I didn't realize, Martin, that you were so clued up when it comes to IT, but you've definitely got your finger on the pulse with it.
Well, it's more video production, live video production, and obviously that now encompasses IT because of getting out onto the internet. But as I say, I'm building. We've got pretty much all the kit here now. It's just trying to figure out which way to knit it all together. The worst thing is when you're out mobile at the moment, because HAPS doesn't seem to be standing up to. It falls apart a bit quicker, should we say. It did the other day when I was out mobile, and it's a bit frustrating. But as I say, one step at a time. There are lots of options out there. Dare I mention StreamYard? That's another great cloud production platform. It's just recently been bought by, I can't remember the name of the company now, but a company that produces virtual live online events. And they needed a platform to integrate with their services, so they bought out StreamYard, which I believe is based in British Columbia, actually. There you go.
Oh, right. Okay.
Nice.
I did catch a broadcast of yours earlier on. That sort of clued me up a little bit to how au fait you are with technology. Okay. I think it was Amy. You were on there with Amy, and her battery was dying on her phone, and she said, any suggestions? And you said, plug in a mains charger. I nearly fell off.
I was very, very hesitant with that.
Phone's dying. Have you got any suggestions? Plug in a mains charger.
Yes. Yes.
Bless you.
Anyhow, anything would have been better than just doing nothing. But apparently, it was her way of saying she had to leave the broadcast, and that was Oh, hello from Columbus. Hello to you, Takara. Yeah,
Takara.
Yes, hello to you. Thank you for joining us from the Buckeye State. Is that right? Yeah. Over there again on the Eastern Standard Time Zone. And
Desiree's in the house.
Hey, Desiree, I recognize that name.
Yeah. So, how are we going to continue our quest for happiness over the next 7 days? Before I think we've been in now for almost 2 hours and 22 minutes, Eric. It won't be long before that. Let's rotate here. Let's go in the order of how we see ourselves on the screen. Eric, how are you going to continue your quest for happiness over the next 7 days? I think it's going to be a very busy week for you.
Yeah, I'm continuing to break one room down and shuffle my rooms, but I'm going to be focusing a lot on freeing up my time during the day to balance my physical body, my mental, emotional, and my spiritual body. I've got to really start working on the dreamscape, a lot more dedication to consciously incorporating that subconscious relationship. So the one way I can do that is periodically throughout my day, I need to say, am I awake? Am I dreaming? You can do checks like, oh, I've got 10 fingers, not 12, things like that, so that I can start becoming more conscious in my dream state to allow some of the things that spirits want me to work on to really start making those connections.
Sure, that sounds like you're going to have your hands full, as I suggested initially. It might be a case of. For me, I'm going to just sort of echo a little bit what you said, which is that this week for me, I'm going to be busy. The next 7 days ahead, making sure that the technologies sort of being put together in the right way here, because the worst thing is as well is when you do every time you do a broadcast is having to set things up each time. Ideally you want a dedicated space where you can just come back to everything, know it's already set. The problem is for a lot of people, they might only be using one computer for everything they do, so you do have to reset certain things. But making sure that the technology is working properly, improving on all of that. What else? Definitely structuring my days in a better way as well. Trying to get up a bit earlier. I do envy those that can sort of have only about 4 hours sleep, and yeah, they burn the candles seemingly at both ends. They wake early, they go to bed late. Naturally, I prefer sort of like, I think naturally I'm probably like someone who would like to wake up at 11 a.m. and head for some Z's at about 3 a.m. But I really want to twist that around a bit. For one reason, if nothing else, one big reason is I want to share the morning with everyone on broadcasts like this when I'm out and about. So yeah, that's a bit about my next 7 days.
Nice.
What about John there?
Oh, okay. Well, hi.
Hi.
So ironically enough, this topic of what to do with the happiness thing is basically what my Saturday broadcast is, and yeah, so stay tuned for that. That's going to be more interesting, more details. But yeah, as far as my plans for happiness over the next 7 days, I come from a state of happiness anyway. So it really, to me, it's absolutely irrelevant what happens over the next 7 days. I'm still going to be happy, right? Like it could go down the pipes and down the toilet every single day, every hour of every day, and I'm still going to be a happy person. So.
Right. Just before we move on, thanks for that, John. Before we move on, there was a comment. We were talking audio and tech a short time ago, obviously, and Takara was asking about microphones. And on the screen, we'll see any moment now. It asks, does a certain mic take away the hollow sound of a room, or does one just have to move to a smaller carpeted furnished room? Well, obviously that does help the acoustics of the room. That's number one, obviously, because you're not going to easily necessarily be able to change the acoustics of your room if it's, say, a dining room, a living room where you want to broadcast from, and it's not a dedicated space. However, what you can do, of course, it really helps if you have flat walls. They are going to cause echoes and sound that will bounce off of those surfaces. So what you could do is have some sheets, for example, is always one simple way of doing this. If you were using a room that that isn't a dedicated studio, you could just put the sheets up before and take them down after your broadcast. That's one simple thing initially. But of course the microphone does matter as well. Having a microphone like the one I'm using here really does help in an echoey room. You can talk a little bit quieter, but it still picks you up. That's a lavalier microphone, tie clip microphone.
Mm-hmm.
So that's good. Obviously, if you have a microphone like John has, as soon as you start putting the microphone at a distance away, then you kind of, when I say inviting trouble, it's going to pick up the reflected sound as well as the direct sound from your voice. The other option you can do as well is have a microphone like Michael uses, and actually Eric here, of course, on a boom arm, and then bring that closer to you. Eric's demonstrating there very well, of course. Thank you very much, Eric. Let's have a bit of a closer look there, just as a reminder. Helga has a great option as well. She uses, thanks Eric, and she has a headset with a boom microphone on it, like Jimmy does actually right now. And I've just realised, I don't know whether Jimmy took himself. It wasn't intentional, Jimmy. If you didn't take yourself out of the broadcast, put a big thumbs up if you'd like to, and you're happy to rejoin us in vision. I don't know. Hopefully, you can still hear us as well. Is that a thumbs? There's a thumbs down. Okay.
You got the thumbs down.
Oh, actually, just help if you had your headset there to hand. Just hold up and show everyone what I'm referring to. Is that there?
If I may, I'd like to add a little tip when it
Yeah,
comes to
go for it.
sound.
Yeah, before we start winding things up.
Because I'm a big fan of cheap, right? I love cheap especially when it comes
do you mean
to
affordable or cheap? Because cheap often
Right.
says cheap and nasty to people.
Yeah, affordable, something that's
Right.
not going to break the bank to just get the job done. I think we can all kind of throw back to when we were children and doing science fair projects, and you do that kind of stand-up board and you put the pictures on it and stuff. I don't know if everybody's kind of familiar with that. You can go down to Walmart and pick one of those things up for like probably less than $10. If you get one of those up and just kind of create your own little wall behind your computer screen, like the direction that you are talking, and put your microphone in front of you, you can create a small space, and then you can put things like those eggshell containers on the walls of that, and that will eat and dampen the sound and keep it from reverberating around the rest of the room. You can create a micro little space no matter what room you're in, right? You could be in a giant living room and you can create a little micro space for sound.
Yeah, that's definitely good advice there. Like the egg carton one is always an affordable way of helping, because it obviously deflects the sound in different directions, and so it's less of a direct echo. Absolutely. Colin, could we ask you about your plans for the next 7 days, please? What's going on there in the plans? Oh no, Colin, are you hearing us, or have you fallen down the toilet with that razor shaver?
Oh, Colin, don't go swimming, Colin.
Well,
don't go swimming. No, don't do it. Don't do it.
Oh, I see. You heard the question. Not many plans at the moment for the next week. Oh, Helga.
Oh, me.
Oh,
yeah.
What?
Help.
You scared poor
Help.
Helga.
What's going on? It's not good, Bishop.
My headphone, one way or another, he doesn't want to connect anymore, so I have to wait till my son comes home.
Tell us about what your plans are for the week ahead, very loosely, other than obviously recuperate, and we wish you well and get a speedy recovery.
I go by day by day.
Right.
I don't have plans.
Right.
Because if I have plans, I might forget them. And if they are not plans that will give me a good feeling, they will get me nervous. So I don't make plans.
Sure.
I'm impulsive.
Okay.
Yeah.
If that works for you, that's only a good thing. Colin, back to you then. What about the next 7 days? Are you as impulsive as Helga, or are you going to be planning?
The best laid plans of mice are men, as they say. I'm going to be doing some more work on my book. I've obviously got a couple of broadcasts lined up with my buddy John. Spending some time with my children. Woot. Yeah. Broadcast tonight and broadcast tomorrow. It's coming in thick and fast. Especially with that razor. Fancy dropping it in the toilet bowl. After I've just used it, really.
Did it say it was waterproof?
At least you didn't use it after the toilet bowl.
Did it actually say it was waterproof, Colin?
I got both of you. No, and I wasn't even testing it out. I just, sometimes you put it off, don't you? You've got to go to that little boy's room and you're putting it off. And I thought, well, I've got time for a shave. I'm having a shave. I'm not going to have time. I'm not going to make it. I'm not going to make it. So juggling, like as guys do, one-handed, got a razor in one hand and doing what I do. And then all of a sudden the razor just slipped out of my hand straight into the bowl. No problem.
I'm assuming
so what do you do? What do you do?
Well, I'm assuming
the
toilet
is
not broken, and it does have a lid on it, because you know where I'm going to go next, obviously, with a suggestion.
Oh yeah.
Make sure it's
So
closed
yeah,
next time you're
everything
shaving.
was good.
Yeah, in
But
other
next
words,
time,
be a man and
make
put the
sure-
toilet
thing
seat
is-
down.
Right, put the toilet seat down.
The thing is, the toilet seat. Yeah,
See,
but
well,
I
if you
was
learn
in
nothing
midstream,
else-
guys.
if
Come
you
on.
learn nothing else
I was
from
in-
our broadcast today. If you absolutely want to take something away with you, people out there, that is always, particularly the guys, make sure that the toilet seat is shut down, closed before you shave with your
Right,
electric
put the
shaver.
toilet seat down.
I was using it, Martin. That was the point. I was like multitasking. I'm juggling. I've got the razor in
He's
one
over there
hand.
Well, now you-
multitasking. He's trying to
Yes,
get
sorry,
the
well, now you
right
get the
while
cat totally out of the
shaving.
bag. Right. Thank you for that vision there, Colin. Like, no, yeah, absolutely fantastic.
Right. Moving swiftly on. The point was
Because would you tell
the point I
Colin
was
stories
trying
going
to.
on? I can't let you get away with this because we often say over here, isn't it? When us men
Go
rise in the morning, yes, often we go to the bathroom for the 3 S's. Is it?
Yep.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
I don't know. I needed to put my
Shower
hands on my
shave.
head then. I was just holding tight there. Yeah, there you go. Absolutely.
And this, ladies and gentlemen, is why the basketball goal has a backboard. It's this explanation. We need the backboard.
The point being, I would have got away with it. I would have got away with it, and I assumed
wasn't for you wrestling
wrongly,
cats and
obviously, that it's, oh, good grief! Give me a second, guys. Right. So I assumed wrongly that it drops in the bowl. It's underwater. Right? So I'm thinking, right, that's it. It's a done deal. It's dead. I'm going to just get on and do what I'm doing, wash my hands. And it's in the bowl, and it's going bzzz, underwater. And bzzz, underwater. And I think, shit, what do I do? What the hell do I do here?
Yeah, but
So I did what
you see,
any
you've got
self-respecting
problems,
man
Colin,
could do.
because
Reached for the marigolds. Go on.
no, I was going to say you've got two problems there, haven't you? Because it's going bzz twice as much as anything else would normally. Because number one is going bzz in general because it does, and number two is going bzz because it's an electrical item. Damn it!
Yeah, and it's underwater.
Oh no, hold on a minute. Was that the razor, or you did say that you were busy? Sitting there at the time. So I don't really want to go much more into this conversation.
Oh,
from this
no,
angle.
no.
All these bubbles.
No,
Nothing
I
but
was still
bubbles.
standing.
Oh Lord! Oh God, there's
dear.
someone out there's amused, particularly
Never done it.
Mara
I'm
there.
so glad I came on here.
Oh, listen, I think we should wrap things up now because this broadcast, we've been here for now, look, 2 hours and 34 minutes and just a few seconds before you know it.
Yeah.
All this toilet talk, really.
Yeah, toilet humour. Is that what they call it? Toilet humour. Yeah.
I think in future,
What's
Colin,
that-
it might be
what is
safer
it called?
if you get to the outhouse, if you could possibly consider that, or just a hole in the ground might be safer. What do you think?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, let's get back to nature. Anyway.
Out of the window,
Yeah,
out of the top window. Yeah, just
You know, I think who would mind about that is Colin's neighbors.
Well,
go on.
it depends which
Yes,
way
they
the
would.
wind's
They would.
blowing
They
on
would
that
want to.
day, doesn't it? But thank you for that, John, that reminder as
And
well.
patience is a virtue. Your mustache will still be there, but if you got to go, you got to go.
Exactly. You've got no choice. At some points in time, you just got to do what's required, haven't you? You have
Well,
no choice.
Eric's hit the nail on the head, guys and girls, because when we've got to go, we've got to go. And that time has, been reached, I think, here on ShineCast.
Yeah.
Thank you so much to everyone that has joined us, those that aren't here, those that are still here, those that are here in the background, possibly Michael Bathurst listening away there, but certainly because he was last week, but certainly Jimmy Heaven as well, who I can see is definitely there. Edward earlier on. Who else haven't I mentioned? But everyone, thank you for joining us and watching. Thanks again, Colin.
Yep, no problem. It's been a pleasure.
Thanks, Helga.
No problem.
Thank you, John.
You're welcome.
Hey.
And Eric as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you all. Much love.
Everyone
Much
stay
love.
safe. Please stay safe and sensible throughout the next 7 days. That whatever your plans are, please do that for us. And we will be back here very soon on ShineCast. If not before, it'll be in 7 days' time. I'm looking at the time. Actually, we've been broadcasting for 2 hours and 36 minutes, and Eric knows what that adds up to. So I better say very quickly, thank you once again, and find the right button amongst all of these things here to end with. Bye-bye for now. Stay safe.
Stay safe.
All right, we are still live. We're still live. Everyone's coming back into vision just briefly. I'm going to end the broadcast, well, we're certainly. Oh, I see why things slowed up here at the end just for some reason, and that's why everyone came back into vision. Why the titles are playing. We'll end the broadcast. Stay there.